Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Haley and I'm really excited. Today we're building a converted barn house. I got the idea off of Pinterest. They had this beautiful picture of a farmhouse from the backyard and there was this gorgeous pool and the barn had been converted into either like a pool house or a living space or something. There wasn't pictures of the inside. In my build, I decided to convert it into the master bedroom area. So here I am laying down the basics of the build. And I really love the roof detail that goes over the little pathway in between the barn and the farmhouse. That's part of why I chose to try to recreate this. And I love the pool. I usually don't build houses with pools very often. I'm not sure why. I think it's just because growing up most of the people around me didn't have a pool, so I don't know, it just seems like something that's more extravagant and I don't know, I just don't think about putting them in most builds, I guess. And now we're moving on to the front of the house. So I was going to give it a bump out, but I noticed that a lot of the farmhouses I was seeing were pretty boring looking in the front, so I just kept it flat and painted the whole thing white and just gave it a porch with a roof over it. And I did do a bump out on the side, which I was going to have as a modern extension, but later on I decided to just make it an original part of the house. And then I decided it looked a little too boring, so I added a little second story, forgot what they're called. Probably think of what they're called after I get done recording this, but this second story was originally just going to be for looks. But then I decided that the house was a little too small for a farmhouse because there wasn't really any bedroom space, so I do add 2 kids' bedrooms upstairs. And then here I am working on the barn a little more. I'm really happy with how the barn ended up turning out. I don't think I've ever built a barn before this, and yeah, I think it turned out really cool. I do wish we had doors that were more barn-like, but I ended up just using ones from Cats and Dogs. And then I tried to use these Get Famous beam details, but they didn't really size down to the right size. And then moving on to the inside of the house, I kept it very light and airy. I imagine whoever moved in here came in and just knocked down all the walls to really open up the space. I used the Parenthood fireplace in the living room space. The Parenthood fireplace is like my favorite fireplace in the game. I feel like it's definitely the most normal looking fireplace. that we have. Like, it's not over the top or anything. And then I was gonna add a little detail at the entryway, but it just looked really weird and it cut off the space too much, like, because the house isn't very big, so having that there just didn't leave that much room for the living room. And then I just placed down some wall objects so I wouldn't forget to use them. Then I used couches from Discovery University, which I think really suited the style of this house. And yeah, I just think the living room turned out looking really nice. And I usually don't go for this light kind of style for the inside of my houses. Normally I want them to look really warm and cozy, and I do feel like this still looks cozy, but it's definitely a different vibe than what I normally do, I guess. And then I gave them a nice kitchen with this nice wraparound sort of island area. I'm using base game counters. I actually really like these counters. These ones and the Parenthood ones are probably my favorite in the game. And yeah, I really like the way the kitchen turned out. I used the white subway tiles for the backsplash, which I recently discovered. I didn't realize we had a white tile like this in the game, and I really love it. I use this one and the Parenthood ones most often in my game, I think. Yeah, I just feel like those ones look really natural in most houses. And then I do use the ones, not so much for kitchens, but the tiles we got in that base game update. I use those a lot in the bathrooms also. And then I put this floral wallpaper in this room, and I was going to have this room be the bedroom. And I imagine that this was originally the master bedroom when the barn was a barn. And then when they remodeled, they put in all the windows and turned it into a large dining room space. And then it was about here that I decided that I needed to utilize the second floor of the house because it was just too small. Because in a farmhouse like this, you probably wouldn't only have had one bedroom. So I had 2 kids' bedrooms on the second floor. And then, yeah, I had to play around with the roof a lot because you couldn't see into the second floor at all. I really wish roofs didn't work like that. I don't think when you're playing on the second floor you should be able to see the roof at all, but yeah, so I put the 2 kids' rooms up there, and then I couldn't find a good place for the stairs. I'm not super happy with where I ended up putting the stairs, but it works. I just kind of shoved them in the back. I don't think that's where the stairs would have been when the house was built. And then I was going to put the master bedroom up there, but then I realized I didn't have anything in mind for the converted barn or what would go there. And like I said, it's just weird for a farmhouse to only have 1 bedroom. And then I go back down to the dining room and put the chairs down. I was gonna do the chairs in black, but then I decided that that made the room look a little too different from the rest of the house. Like I said, I wanted to keep the farmhouse side looking very bright and airy and open. And then that room down there is going to be the bathroom. I don't furnish it until almost the end of the build, but that's where the bathroom is going to go. So yeah, I had the 2 bedrooms in there and I just put the carpet down for now. I don't furnish those until almost the end of the build either. And then here I go in to do the master bedroom. I didn't want the barn doors to open up right into the bedroom, so I do cut it off there, but I do expand the bedroom a little bit because I felt like that was just a little too small since they did redo the barn to be their master bedroom, so I do make it a little bit bigger. I gave them 2 closet spaces, and then I kept the interior walls the red color of the barn. I thought maybe they would want to keep those, and the inside walls I paint white to kind of match with the farmhouse side of the house, although the converted barn does look more modern, I think. So yeah, I give them a vanity and don't remember what else I put in here. I know I added a bunch of paintings to the walls and stuff, and I was trying to find a different bed because I feel like I used this cats and dogs bed in a lot of builds, but we just don't have that many good beds in the game, and it's really unfortunate. Like, a lot of our beds are really, like, themed, I think? Or they're just, like, they don't feel like something most people would have in their houses to me. So yeah, I do give them some plants in here, and then the coat rack on the wall. Yeah, I think this room turned out really cool, but it would be really annoying, I think, in real life to have to walk outside to get to the main part of your house. I did give them a bathroom though, and towards the end of the build I do add a little kitchenette so they wouldn't have to leave here too often, at least, but I don't know, I suppose if they have kids in the main part of the house they would though. And then I changed the roof to a more modern looking roof. Maybe they got the roof redone. And then I think here I'm gonna start landscaping. I used the bb.show hidden objects and bb.show live edit objects just to save money, and also because some of the live edit objects I prefer to the ones we get just with the game. Like that bush that I put in between the barn and the farmhouse, I really, really like. I think the house still ends up being really expensive even with the free landscaping though. I do add some of the regular landscaping in also though, so that is going to drive the price up later. And yeah, the house was a lot smaller than I initially thought it was gonna be, so they end up having kind of a huge backyard. So I do give them a little greenhouse area, which I think I'll be doing in just a second here. Just putting some more bushes down. Oh, and those, I love those. Those are in the live edit objects menu. So is the wheelbarrow. And then, yeah, I'm just trying to find any other clutter items that I want to use. And I'm putting a fence around the porch for the barn, and I did put a fence around the whole backyard here. Okay, and now I'm adding in the greenhouse, finally. So I made it red to match the barn. And then I'm giving it a glass roof. The greenhouse is pretty simple. It's just got some planter pots in it and I think a couple things on the wall, but not too much. I do really wish we had more rustic, like full-size doors. I don't think... Yeah, we didn't have any that went all the way to the top. I also wish I could have made the greenhouse a shorter wall height than the house, but unfortunately we can't do that. So I just end up putting some plants on the wall and then one of those things. And I was gonna do a path that matched the path around the pool, but I didn't like the way it looked, so I do delete that and just use some terrain paint. So yeah, here I am. I use the laundry day light in here, and I'm using the outdoor retreat planter boxes because those just are more rustic and I like them a lot more for builds like this. And I think all I put on the walls inside is the hose and a rake. And that trash can is from Debug, so it's 0 simoleons because I like to put 2 trash cans usually in my builds, one for garbage and one for recycling, but obviously your Sims only need the one. So just to save some money, I like to use the Debug one for the second one. And then here I am landscaping a little bit more. I think the landscaping here is pretty basic. I don't do a whole lot, just a little bit around the sides of the houses or the house and the barn, and then I did change the windows to be a little bit bigger in the kids' rooms because I thought it was kind of sad to just have those tiny little windows, but the window situation is still really sad. They've only got the one window. And then I did very, very basic decor for the kids' rooms because usually, like if I were to play in this house, I would want to furnish the kids' rooms for the specific children that were going to be living in them, and I didn't really have a family in mind for this build, so I just gave it really like stereotypical boys' room, girls' room furnishing. And then I gave them each a desk with a laptop. I did not give them dressers, but I'll probably add those in before I upload this build to the gallery. Just because I think, well, for one, that like they need somewhere to put their clothes, right? But also the rooms look a little too bare, I think, even though I was trying to be a little sparse in my furnishings for them. So yeah, I'm just adding some stuff to the walls here. And then I gave the hallway area that wallpaper on the inside. And then I just put a painting in between the 2 doors. And then I realized I still hadn't furnished the bathroom downstairs, so I'm doing that right now. Well, first I'm doing the curtains apparently. Like I said, I jump around a lot when I build. but I added this little seating area just because there wasn't much room for anything else, but it did look a little bare right there. So yeah, I just added this little poof and a chair with a plant and a rug underneath, and now I'm doing the bathroom finally. And I think we're approaching the end of the video, so thank you for watching this, and I hope you don't mind my voice. And I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you are. Thank you.